what did I get out of my karate training? Yeah. Well, I got discipline. I got discipline. I was wild, absolutely, completely wild in my late teens and early 20s. If I hadn't had karate going on, I probably would not have had a good peer group to associate with, to see that there's another behavior, another aspect. And so that is a big deal. That's a big deal for me. How many of you here have a gun? Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah. There's a couple things that you need to know about the difference between guns and knives, and it's the difference between punches and kicks as well. A gun is a weapon of separation, all right? So as a general rule, if you see somebody who has pulled a gun on you and they're stepping back, that's when the shooting's going to begin. But a knife is precisely the opposite, isn't it? Because if I'm backing away from you, it's like, okay, don't get near me, don't get near me, don't get near me. I'm backing away from you. I'm not going to stab you. I'm not going to slice you. I'm not going to cut you or slash. So guns are about distance, and knives are very personal. Punches are about getting close, and kicks are about separation. If you think about this, 1/4 of the bones in your body are now in your hands, right here. This is 1/4 of the bones of my body. This hand can break boards, but it also can perform brain surgery. Well, if I were educated in it, all right? Who's up? So that's how sophisticated the human hand is. It's amazing, all right? And I'm gonna show you some things about that in a minute. But what I wanted to do is, when we move now into kicks, I wanted you to have the perspective that it's about distance with kicks. Kicks are about creating distance, so that makes them a gun, and punches are like knives. That's one way you can look at it, okay? So now we're going to go to the kick, all right? So what we're going to do is your question to get, is your goal to get away? Is your goal to fight? And what does your kata tell you to do? The 3 kata that I focus on for myself is Sanchin, because that's everything. And Sisochin I like a lot, and I spend time on Seisan. Recently I've started, because Ito Sensei has introduced it to me, his version of Naihanshin, and so I've been doing that. Some Teki is what Shotokan would call it, but that's where I've been spending a lot of time on that. But it's not about the pattern, it's about universal movement. If I'm stepping one way in Naihanshin, it's not unlikely that I'm stepping that same way in Sanchin or in Seisan or Seisan. So these things come to the forefront of my study, not necessarily the pattern, but the constituent parts. A kick is a high-risk move because you've gone from being a triangle, the most stable geometric design, to a triangle on its tip, the most unstable. So you go from here to here. And the second I do this, you ask any judoka, as soon as you do this, I throw you. If you're on one leg, I can throw you 360 degrees. Anywhere I want, doesn't make any difference. So when you throw a kick, man, that's a high-risk proposition. The front kick, boom, right? Yeah, classic. Toes back, ball of the foot exposed. Boom, like that. We're pretty good with that. That's not the way I'm going to show you to do it. I'm going to show you it. It's called different things, but we call it a shomengare. You guys do?
Yes, just like a push front kick rather than a snap one.
Okay, well, we're going to combine the two and make a delightful flavor. As we learned yesterday from Sanchin and skeletal alignment, every joint is an opportunity to lose power. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to reduce the joints. So what I'm going to do is we're going to kick with the heel, with a front kick. All right, it's not going to be a push, it is a kick. All right, so I'm just going to turn it sideways here a little bit. So when we do our front kick, boom, you know, we're used to, in fact, I mean, look how many people have hit that white spot there. Bang. Yeah, hey, look at that. So, you know, boom. Pretty good little drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it back and I'm going to kick that way, right? But I'm going to come out of the ground with it. And it's not a shove, it is a kick. I want you to think the same snap kick that you would think with the foot pulled back. This is like a jab. This, when you kick this way, it's like the right cross. Okay? You're coming heavy and you're coming hard. And the beautiful part about it is that you can do really cool stuff with it. So like switch your feet if you would for me. You know, boom, boom. This is a really cool place to put that kick because there's all sorts of hip, you know, you wouldn't think that this is a really good place to kick, but you know, you got arteries, you got nerves, you got a bone coming in there, and the kick comes in right here. But I'm not shoving, I'm kicking. The reason I'm shoving is because I got to go home with them, all right? Yeah. Boom. That's the kick. If you do Giksaikata, then you know it is this way, bang, you know, coming in, and bam, bam, bang. So what I want you to do is I want you to work with your partner on this kick. Now, you're not going to be kicking each other, right? Actually, he's going to be looking to make sure, he's just looking at my foot, that I'm getting those toes back. I tell my students, try to put your toes in your mouth. Get that foot up like that. That's what I want. I want that heel. I want that heel, but do it with the same snap and flurry that you would use for the migraine. We're only going to spend a minute getting this right, and then we're going to move on to the rest of this stuff, okay? So, go. I had a break because I lived in a place that had no martial arts. And so it was me. Some of you juniors here, I want to let you know that no matter what you do, whether you play soccer or you go off to, you know, swimming club or whatever it is, karate will always be. And wherever you go in your life, there will always be a karate dojo. And you'll be able to show up with your gi and your belt and go, "Hi, my name is," and they'll say, "Yeah, come on, get on the floor." I would train the best I knew how. You know, in the living room or outside. I can remember I used to work in an orchard in the middle of the winter, and I would prune a tree, and then I would climb down off the ladder, and then through the snow I would do my san-chin stepping to the next tree, which was 20 feet away, and then I would turn around and audit my steps to make sure that they were correct. You know, the training was not good because it was self-guided. But it kept me in, and I developed some bad habits that had to be scrubbed. But the intent and desire was always there, and so I was able to continue to push on. Just because I wanted to, you know, it just was that. That was it. I desired it. I wanted it. I did it. This is a big, long journey. If you wind up taking some time off, come back. It's okay. You'll always be welcomed. Come back. You might seem kind of hard. It's like, oh, I got to start over. I got to do it. Don't worry. It's good. It's okay. You can do that. Karate will always be. The dojo will always be. There will always be a dojo.